The ABB FIA Formula E Championship moves away from Japan in Tokyo and for the first time to Rimini. We're in the Mazzano Emilia-Romagna region for rounds 6 and 7 of the 10th season of the all-electric ABB FIA Formula E World Championship. We had qualifying a couple of hours ago. Mitch Evans takes a surprising pole position. Jean-Eric Vergne second after being dominant all weekend. And Pascal Wehrlein, the championship leader, promoted to third on the grid. It's all happening right here, right now. Who will master the tricky conditions that the heat is providing and a long race on a road course once again? Welcome to Mazzano and the first ever Mazzano EPrix. And alongside me in the commentary box for this one is Jess Ball. Ed Hunter is on his way as well. Josh T is in the pit lane. And Omi, as always, is hanging around in the background. So here we are then. Italy once again. And a new venue for Formula E. No longer the Rome EPrix or a variation of that circuit. No, we're here on a purpose-built race course that's been adapted to Formula E. The Mazzano World Circuit Marco Simoncelli. And what a race we are looking forward to. 28 laps ahead of us in today's run around, and fingers crossed as well that it's going to be a smooth, calm race as well. Tomorrow, that's 26 laps as well, so less the distance, but we've got to remember added laps in duration. Jess, nice to have you in the comms box for the next few races for Formula E, and fingers crossed we're in for a great race. So far this weekend, it's been really strong and really competitive action, especially from Jean-Eric Vergne, but in qualifying, Mitch Evans came out of nowhere. What a performance.
Yeah, it was very great for Mitch Evans to take pole position to the very end. And even though you get on top in the other sessions, it only counts if you win at the duels in the final and get pole position there as well. But it depends where they start out as well. Maybe Jean-Eric Vergne could get a good start off the line. But it's just really great to see how close it was in the duels too. And for most of the time, it was the driver that came out second that got the advantage. But the last few sessions, we saw the likes of Hughes struggle. We saw the likes of Jean-Eric Vergne struggle. So it is still possible. And speaking of Hughes, actually, we got some news about Jake Hughes, haven't we, Josh?
Indeed, because Jake Hughes did qualify third on the grid alongside then championship leader Pascal Wehrlein as well. But we are now changing it over because we have been advised that, unfortunately, starting at the back of the grid now will be Jake Hughes as well. After he had, as Jeff Dodds walks into shot mid-conversation with David Coulthard, and we'll be hearing from him in our show next time out in Monaco because the Formula E Zone are going to be interviewing him on Wednesday as well. But it's really bizarre because Jake Hughes had a fire extinguisher that wasn't armed in qualifying, and that's an automatic sent to the back of the grid. Unfortunately, Jess, we've seen it happen for a few drivers in the past, so he's going to start from the back, but he's going to be one to watch because that McLaren has been really strong all weekend, especially Jake Hughes.
Yeah, Jake Hughes was the one that was the biggest surprise. Going into the qualifying session this morning, he was top of the Group B heat, and he was able to beat some people in the quarterfinals as well. It was just a semis where he missed out. But it's not over for Jake Hughes. I do remember it was Sao Paulo when Nick Cassidy started at the back of the grid. Well, he managed to finish in the points quite well, and he was one of our drivers of the day. Well, one of my drivers of the day when I was watching it with my parents. So not all is over, especially in McLaren being that competitive.
Let's head down to the grid then. David Coulthard is with Corinne Channock and pole sitter Mitch Evans.
Obviously, we've got track position that we want to be in certain parts of the race, especially in that first phase. That's really, really critical. So yeah, at certain times, if I'm getting shuffled too far back, or if I'm maybe too far, to the front, I want to be able to position myself. It's like a game of chess in a way, almost like a Moto3 race. Like it's just hectic. So obviously we're trying to get to a certain point in the race where we want to be towards the front. Everyone's got their own targets of when they want to be there, and we've got ours. And obviously, we're just going to try and, until we get to that point, just keep positioning ourselves, trying to keep out of trouble to make sure we can get to that position at the right time.
Okay, well, we hope it works out for you. I'm not good at chess. I only was any good at drafts, so it wouldn't work for me. But
I'm better at driving. Good luck.
Good luck indeed.
Shall we wander on? I can see Pascal Wehrlein here.
We've got Giorgio here. Sorry, I'll catch you in a minute. One of the stars of Formula E off track.
Right, come on, stop socialising. I found Jean-Eric Vergne here. Let's, Jeff, can we grab a word? Jeff, starting on the front row. Now, how are you going to play this? Mitch refuses to tell us how quickly he wants to give up the lead. What's going to be your game plan?
I think it will give me the lead in T1. I don't know. I think it's you know, this kind of racing where it's going to be very hard to predict what people will do. Not many people will want to lead the race. So yeah, it will be. I mean, during the summer, I should follow a bit more Tour de France to have a better understanding of this kind of racing. But I think I have a pretty good one now. So let's see how it falls out.
Just very quickly, when is the last moment that you can bolt and be able to have the right amount of energy? It says 1 lap from the end, 2 laps from the end.
You want me to give you my energy target?
Yes,
when
please.
I hit it, I go. Okay. It's 125.
No idea.
He doesn't know what that means.
125 kilowatts.
Oh, excellent,
He
excellent.
still doesn't know what that means.
I can teach you after. You know how it works, Formula E.
Thank you.
I'll throw to Nicky. It's probably a good moment now to stop the shot.
Good luck.
Always getting up to trouble, you two. I'm joined by our defending champion, Jake Dennis. Jake, I'm just going to actually draw our camera's attention to what is going on at the back of your car at the moment. A little bit of repair work. What happened?
Yeah, I just had a small incident leaving the pit lane. A mistake from my side. And yeah, just caused some damage on the rears, fine. Thankfully, there's no suspension damage, so just a bit of body work, which is now coming off, and the boys will fix it, so it's all good.
Bit of a last dash, but I'm sure it'll be fine. They get the plasters and sticky tape out. But what can we do from back here? I mean, I know qualifying isn't critical, but we are pretty far back.
Yeah, we are. We are quite far back, but I'm confident that the issues which I suffer in qualifying don't really exist in the race, and if they do, then it's towards the end of the race when overtaking possibilities are much less. So, yeah, with the coasting profiles, what we're going to have for the first sort of 10-15 laps, we won't really be braking all that much. We'll just be doing it all through the motor and the regeneration, and that's where our Porsche powertrain excels. So I'm confident that we can come through to the front and be there when it matters.
Excellent. That's what we like to hear. Thanks very much, Jake Dennis. Good luck. He did actually say earlier that he thought in the first lap he could get to the front of the grid, which is rather confident. Sorry, I nearly lost you there. Come on through. We're going to have a quick chat with Stoffel van Dorn, who is hiding under an umbrella. What a great place to be in the shade. So got the performance to finish the race at the front, but what is really achievable today?
I think it's definitely possible. It's going to be a difficult race with the energy management. Obviously, everyone is kind of aware of these situations right now, so to manage that a little bit different than the others is going to be challenging. But I believe it's possible to have a strong race here.
There's been talk about how it's going to be quite a flat-out race, you know, from a certain point, and there's going to be quite a lot of stress on the battery. Is temperature going to be a bit of a limitation at all?
Could be. For the moment, it doesn't look like it's going to be a massive problem, but you know, it can always evolve during the race. And at the moment, I think the mindset that it's not going to be an issue, and try and gain some position, and then we'll deal with it at the end of the race.
Realistic finish?
Top 5.
Top 5. Oh, there we are, fighting talk, of course, from champion Stoffel van Dorn. Well, early in the week, I had the chance to catch up with the winner from the inaugural Tokyo EPrix, Max Günther.
So as we're waiting for Nicky to have a word with him, we'll just turn it down for copyright musics.
Ciao, bello, buonasera. What are the chances of you seeing you here, Max Günther? How are you doing?
Great, thank you. You?
You look different. What is it?
More tanned, maybe?
Well, you do have a bit of a tan, but no, I think it's because you've now won 5 Formula E races. Congratulations winning the inaugural Tokyo Street Race. Wow, what an achievement.
Maximilian Günther on the streets of Tokyo takes Maserati's first win since Jakarta last year. What a drive from the German.
It was a great weekend for us. You know, all sessions went so well, and yeah, not only the pace, but as well the whole execution of the race was super enjoyable. And once I took the lead, obviously I knew there is a chance we can do it, but until the very last lap, it wasn't certain. I mean, you saw it. Ollie, he had a go on me, I think, 2 times at least in the last lap. And then, yeah, from turn 16 onwards, obviously, I realized it's ours. And, yeah, very, very special place, very special moment to win it.
Yeah, and the fans absolutely loved it. Went completely wild. And it's quite interesting in terms of the Drivers' Championship now, because that win puts you 5th in the championship. So this weekend, there's a lot of points at stake. The championship's looking quite exciting.
Well, I think it's very early on, still in the season.
That early. Nearly halfway.
but there are obviously, probably 6 other guys who can fight for this championship this year. But I certainly feel we are ready for the fight.
Excellent, that's what we like to hear. Now we're heading into a double-header race weekend in Misano. Brand new track for everybody. It couldn't be more different from Tokyo. You've got this huge, wide, purpose-built track. Is that going to suit you and your car?
Yeah, you mentioned very different challenge. I think, historically speaking, from last year, usually the faster tracks are good for us, for our package. Obviously, we made quite some changes now for this year, but I think it's really one of our qualities as well to adapt with the approach, the setup, and all these things to a track like this one. At the same time, we will see a lot of energy saving in this race. So qualifying will be one thing, but then as well you need to be very smart with how you approach the race. We will see lots of overtaking. I certainly think that good things are possible this weekend. How much we will see.
Now, we're obviously surrounded by this beautiful coastline. How are you going to prepare for the race in terms of absorbing and soaking in some of that Italian culture? What are you going to be eating? What are you going to be drinking? Give us an insight into your favourite foods while being in Italy.
Well, definitely Italian food is very high up on my,
it's good, isn't it?
On my list. And, well, I need to keep it healthy for the next few days. But after the race, for sure, I will go for a nice pizza.
So does that mean you're not even going to have a pizza? No pasta?
Not until after the race.
Well, Max, hopefully you will be making a splash here on the Italian coastline here in Misano. Thank you so much.
Thanks to you, Nikki.
There's a lovely chat there between Nicky and Max Gunter. He's the man in form right now. It's the car you can see right next to me. He's sitting in P7 for today. And we've been joined by Davide Grasso, actually the CEO of Maserati. Thank you so much for joining us on the grid. Seems exciting times. You know, you're in it's your home race, essentially. Max Gunter in great form. Must be good.
Absolutely. What a defining moment for the brand, right? We're on the home turf. Maserati is driving, is racing in Italy, coming from a victory in Tokyo.
Yeah.
And Max has been just great. It's fantastic. We couldn't be happier than we are with him. His style of driving, his passion, his not being afraid of anything. He just shares our values. So we're excited to be here today with him.
Yeah, and obviously Jehan Derouvre is another one of your drivers. But on Max, I mean, it really felt that in Sao Paulo in particular, there was a couple of changes made there because he had a I think it was a qualification penalty, which put him way back in the grid. But once he came flying through, the couple of changes to the car have made the big difference for him.
Yeah, absolutely. And it shows, again, I was talking about sharing similar values, right? He's a fighter. He's a fighter. Last year, we were rookies. And throughout the season, we got better and better every Grand Prix, and then we ended up winning.
Yeah.
And this year is happening earlier, and we had to overcome all sort of difficulties. And so we are fighters. He's a fighter, and that's that's the only way to compete and win. To compete and win, you have to be a fighter.
Yeah, and I've got to talk about the people here as well. I mean, there's a racing culture in this city, Misano. They've really turned out in the numbers, and I'm sure you're looking forward to a lot of support today.
Absolutely. This is, again, it's a defining moment, but also this is a defining place. This is one of the places in the world that are breathing, sweating, and speaking motorsport and racing, right? So, and Maserati is from this land. So to be here today is really amazing.
You touched, sorry, I was going to say, I had to sort of chuckle when you said you're rookies. Of course, rookies to this, but Maserati, motor racing's in the DNA.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, that's why we came back to racing. We were born on the tracks, right? More than 100 years ago, 110 years ago. Then we went to the roads, and from the roads, we're coming back on the tracks.
There you go.
And, we have to be on the track to compete and have a chance to win. So we are very happy to be here.
And we're very happy to have you as well. Thank you very much for your time, David. We really appreciate it.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Nicky, where are you?
Well, joining me now is Nick Cassidy. Nick, I'm sorry, we've literally just pulled you out of a meeting with your race engineer. I would love to know, obviously within reason, of what you actually talk about just moments before getting in the car.
Yeah, good question. No, we're just going across the basics. I think we all know what to do, but we're just going through, crossing the T's, dotting the I's kind of thing.
All right, so giving away absolutely nothing there. Thanks, Nick. So how's it going to work between you? Mitch Evans up front. Can you work together?
Oh, I don't think we can work together just yet. I've got to probably make a bit of progress, but
that's doable.
It's doable. I'm open-minded, and yeah, I think this track, there's certainly opportunities, so we'll see what we can do.
So can we see both Jaguars on the podium today? Is it possible?
That's the plan. I've just got to try to do a good job and see where we end up.
All right, okay, thank you very much, Nick. We will let you get back to your meeting. I did see Sebastian Buemi over here. He's also having a bit of a chat with his engineer, but let's see if he will come and say a very quick 10-second word from Sebastian Buemi just before we go. Sebastian Buemi not looking happy. Just very quickly, because I know you're about to jump in the car, final few thoughts before the start of this race. I know you've got your teammate alongside you as well.
Yeah, exactly. We're going to try to do the best race we can. It's maybe a race that will look a little bit similar to Portland. So we're going to, try to save the battery, save the energy, and position ourselves well for the last 10 laps.
Brilliant. Thank you ever so much. Sebastian Buemi there. Good luck for the race. Back to you guys.
Well, the drivers are making their final preparations before the race here in Misano. Formula E is fast, furious and unique. And here's more about this fascinating form of motorsport.
Yeah, well, as they provide that, they won't go for an ad break now. They'll go for an ad break later, so I'll take this opportunity to introduce to the commentary. It's Ed Hunter. Hello, Ed. How are you doing? Welcome to the show.
Yeah, sorry I'm late again.
No worries.
I lost track when we were starting, and then my mum came in with a bunch of socks that I had to put away, so I thought I should see to that. Otherwise, I would turn the camera on, you'd see me trying to fold up socks in the background.
I hate doing that.
Well, I can imagine you hate watching me do it as well. But anyway,
Are you kidding me? And he's folding the blue sock with the red sock. He's going to have mismatched socks next week. So I can do anything.
Oh no, that would be a
down the inside.
Disqualification. Yeah, and the inside
And
of my
he's
sock.
wrapped it round. Anyway, go on.
Anyway, what was I going to talk about? Oh yeah, the race. I love that interview with the Maserati owner, CEO, Capuzzi, I think was his name, where he was saying, "Oh, this is a defining moment. This is a defining place." Just like constantly saying how everything was, and this is a defining moment for the brand or something like that, and just constantly using the word a defining definition from Maserati. There, he seemed pretty fired up, but yeah, it's just been interesting going into this one because obviously there's have we talked about Jake Hughes and the fire extinguisher yet?
Yes, yeah. What do you make of that? By the rules, but really lucky.
I think it's obvious what I think. I think McLaren messed up, and I'm not surprised because they seem to have. They had a history doing this as Mercedes as well. Do you remember?
Yes,
where
I do. Yeah.
Stoffel Van Dorn got disqualified from pole position at Valencia and sent to the back of the grid. Luckily, that was the race where in 21 where there was all the everyone ran out of energy right near the end because there was the extra lap they didn't anticipate, and Mercedes won the few that had saved enough for both cars. As it looks like TNT had gone to ad break, but
yes.
But yeah, I think it's not such a big penalty because it's Misano, because we're expecting this peloton style of racing that you're not really going to want to lead because of the draft and the energy saving. What ideally you want to do, you want to run in the Izé laps from sort of 3rd to 5th or 6th without falling too far behind the leaders, obviously. And then depending on the safety cars and stuff, it's probably going to be those last 10 to 15 laps where everyone ups their pace. And that's what things get interesting. Yeah, but yeah, it was interesting. I was also looking up in the sausage curbs and stuff. So apparently that was all about track limits, essentially. They were really worried that everyone was going to just, because there's so much runoff and stuff at Misano compared to the typical Formula E circuit, that people were going to essentially do a lot of corner cutting and track extending and getting away with it. And this was a sort of unideal sort of solution, but they sort of didn't have a lot of time to implement something. So that's why the sausage curbs are in. But I sort of agree with Jess on balance. I sort of don't mind if people cut corners. I prefer people who cut big corners and it looks slightly silly, as opposed to people being thrown up into the air and potentially into dangerous situations.
we definitely saw that in qualifying. 3 separate drivers flying off into the barrier as well. Just having a quick word with George in the YouTube chat. Says, hi. You also aren't good at commentary, David Coulthard. You guys have managed to get me to hate him now. I don't like to talk bad about commentators, but he doesn't even try. Well, I don't know if you were watching on the grid. He asked, I think he asked Nico Muller, didn't he? What's his energy plan? Or is it Pascal Vettel? One of the two. What's his energy plan? And he said he gave them the percentages of energy they want to work with. And Coulthard said, that doesn't mean anything. What does that mean? So it was like, oh, he just did not listen, did he? And Karoon desperately tried to save the situation. But you've got David Coulthard and Jermaine who just are not doing it. Calling Kate Mullings as well, Katie Muller, in the qualifying show. I mean, it's Kate Mullings.
Jermaine,
yeah.
And Jermaine gets mixed up with Nico Muller. I mean, if he'd instantly corrected himself, fair enough. But it does sort of feel like a sort of perfect storm of David Coulthard, who is really into motorsport, but clearly not that into Formula E and doesn't have the passion or knowledge for it. And then Jermaine Dennis, who's sort of a nervous deer in the headlights, who's come from football. So we got like, it's sort of, how do you do, fellow kids, a little bit in a way with those two. But they're trying their best.
Just put Nikki in charge. Honestly, Nikki, and I really like Radzi. Radzi was great in it as well. I think we could have Nikki and Radzi as co-hosts throughout the season, because I know neither do
There's
both.
a sort of younger team that does a really good job, but they haven't got the profile, I think.
Saunders and Alexa, yeah, they're really great as well. Alexa doing more practice too now, I notice, in the pit lane, which is great. But the team seems to be a bit too big for too big's sake. They could slim it down a little bit and give it back to what it was originally. JT has said in the chat, I'm surprised DC isn't at Goodwood this weekend. Yes, for the members meeting. Surprised that too. But JT's in the pits for us. And JT, what are you looking forward to ahead of today's race? And do you want to hop in on the David Coulthard attack train?
Well, firstly, hello everyone. I'm surprised. Yeah, I'm surprised that David Coulthard isn't at Goodwood. I know Dario is there this weekend, driving as well. But yeah, it's well, I don't really have anything to add because you've added it for me. But just going to the McLaren situation. Even as a McLaren fan, I have 2 words for it: skill issue.
I'd agree there. Right.
Yes.
Unfortunately, I'm going to have to pass you back to JJ, but let's have a look at the season so far, starting in Mexico. Let's head down to JJ on the grid.
Well, it's been an epic season so far with 5 different winners from 5 races across 3 continents. And now it's time for Europe to take centre stage. And our very own Nicky Shields and David Coulthard are out there on the circuit.
We've put our steps in. We've left the grid and worked up our chocolate cake. DC, we're down here at where all the action is going to be at the start of the race, down at turn 1. What can we expect from what is going to be a potential great overtaking opportunity?
Yeah, what I love about this sequence of corners, actually, is not only because at the start they're all going to be bunched up through one, plenty of space here to try and get yourself lined up for where it's all going to get a bit tricky. Now, 2 into 1 might work in some scenarios, but through this section of 2, 3 and 4 onto the back straight, it just isn't going to work. So if the camera swings round, we can see this is a natural pinch point with behind that ABB banner is a concrete wall. That is typical Formula E and very unforgiving. So I think a scene of interest, not only at the start, but you've been telling me all weekend that this is a peloton-style race and they may be saving energy. And then, well, let's imagine there's a group of cars on the last lap. Does someone bolt on the run into turn 1 to try and get clear? Or do they sort of use this second, third and fourth corner as a positioner on the hairpin, which has got a headwind down into 5?
So this is basically action central right here. And as you mentioned, we do have a lovely concrete wall, which sort of brings an element of that street race back into what is a purpose-built track.
Yeah, they're very unforgiving. You tend to come off worse if you hit there. But down at 8 and 9, we've already seen was that Jake Dennis had a little touch of the exit at 9, but that's tyre wall with some plastic in front of it, so that's more forgiving.
Now that we're out here in the baking sun, you can feel that the temperatures are rising. There's a bit of a wind as well. Is that going to affect the conditions compared to qualifying?
Well, it definitely will. Track temperature a bit higher, wind. Doesn't matter that they are not aero-dependent cars. These still have a windage. It will definitely give you more of a slipstream down into 5. The drivers will be aware of that, and as they're trying to preserve energy, they'll really focus on those areas of the racetrack.
Right, well, time is ticking. The race is literally just moments away. Thank you so much for your insight, DC, and we cannot wait to see what happens down here at turn 1 in just a few moments' time.
Yeah, we cannot wait either. Nikki, Katie, race is about to start. The drivers are in that zone. What's your kind of strategy going into the race? I've heard so much about peloton, sitting back, going for it. What would your style be?
I know we keep talking about it, but this track, I don't think we've seen one like this season. You know, it's so wide, and with the long straights, I think it's going to be staying out of the clean air. You want to be in the slipstream, so I'd be hanging back, and then it's all about timing that launch right for the start.
Can you pick a winner?
I think the Porsche powertrain is meant to be very efficient, and we see Pascal in 3rd place, so I keep my eyes on him.
I would do as well. He's usually there or thereabouts. You're not wrong. Well, it's time to go racing here in Misano, Italy. It's a proud, a passionate, a motorsport nation. It's Formula E, race 6, and it's live.
Italy and motorsport, they go hand in hand.
Maserati presenta la storia dell'automobile.
Fatti su Maserati 250M.
But technology never stands still. Formula E arrives in the homeland of Ferrari, Lamborghini and Maserati.
Maximilian Günther takes Maserati's first win since Jakarta last year. Can they continue this success on home soil?
Benvenuti in Italia. Welcome to Italy.
What will happen in the home of Valentino Rossi? This part of the world is mad on motorcycles, but today the world circuit, Marco Simoncelli swaps 2 for 4 and swaps the 1000cc stroke engine to electric power. Welcome to the first ever Misano EPrix. It's a double header. We came here expecting attack charge, recharge racing, and a giant leap into the unknown. Unfortunately, around this 3.381 kilometre modified circuit, it looks like we're going to see something we've already seen twice before. A peloton-style event. Who is going to want to lead? Who's going to want to save energy? 28 laps ahead of us today. Tomorrow, 26 laps. But add in possibilities of safety cars and the added laps there. Also add in red flag predictions. Also add in as well the unpredictability of the attack mode and what they want to do. Here's your starting grid then from back to front. Jake Hughes with a penalty for a unarmed fire extinguisher is alongside Sergio Sete Camaro on row 11. Row 10 sees Jeruvala alongside De Vries. Row 9 sees Stoffel Van Dorn in 18th. Alongside him is Jake Dennis in 17th. 8th row sees Lucas de Grassi 16th and Dan Tinctum starting 15th. Row 7 sees Antonio Felix da Costa in 14th, Eduardo Mortara starting in 13th place as well. And then moving on to row 6, 12th for Sasha Fenestraz and 11th for Norman Nato. Row 5 and 10th is Robin Friends and Sebastian Romy alongside him. The two Envisions make up that 5th row. Row 4 sees Cassidy start in 8th and Gunther start in 7th position at the start of the duels. And then making his way through the back of the grid, Ed Hunter's got the cars in position, 6th on the grid as well. On the 3rd row sees Sam Bird. 5th on the grid, that's Oliver Rowland on the 3rd row. 2nd row of the grid, Nico Muller starts in 4th position after Jake Hughes' disqualification from qualifying. Pascal Wehrlein, the championship leader, he starts 3rd on the grid for the Tag Heuer Porsche. Watch out for the Porsche powertrains. They've got better durability. Fast all weekend. Can he be fast here in the race? Starting on the racing line is Jean-Noé Verne on row 1 in 2nd. But it's Mitch Evans who surprised everybody and got pole position in qualifying, which was quite surprising. Alongside me is Ed Hunter and Jess Ball, and as Ed gets his camera ready, Jess, welcome. What are you expecting ahead of today's race? You've got about 10 seconds.
Well, it's going to be interesting getting towards the first corner. We could see quite a few moves being made for the first time that we wouldn't expect, and it gives us an eye-opener what's going to happen for the rest of the weekend. But Mitch Evans on pole and Verne alongside. Let's do this, Josh.
Ed, they're not really waking up the tyres, so we're going to go for an instant start. What do you think? A peloton race or a clean race?
I think those, if you're Mitch Evans, for example, you might be forced into leading a couple of laps. For someone like Nico Müller, big opportunity here, starting in the top 4. I actually am going to go Nico Müller for the podium today. I think that's my big prediction, but I think Oliver Rowland's probably going to win in the Nissan.
It's only a 49-metre start-finish line offset.
Here we go then, green flag in the back, all eyes to the lights. For the first time, we are ready to go here in Mazzano. Only 38% say that Mitch Evans are going to win on the predictor vote. We'll see what happens. 28 laps at Magic Mazzano. It's time to have some mayhem. All 5 lights, come on, 5 on. And it's blast off in Mazzano. It's a good start for the Porsches. Great start from Nico Müller on the inside line. Immediately, we saw as well Nato getting swamped out. Jake Dennis swamps back as well. McLaren of Birds dropped back as well to about 9th position. Terrible start from him. He's going to gain up 2 places around the outside. Evans leads. Verne second. Wehrlein, Muller, Gunther, Cassidy, Bird, Rowland as they make it through 1, 2 and 3 and head down towards primary at turn 5. Again, there's darting from the back. That's the 2 Envisions. 3 wide in mid-corners. The Jaguar TCS of Cassidy goes round the outside of Wehrlein, Muller and Gunther. Cassidy up into 3rd place. Great start from him from 8th on the grid edge as they're still, as we predicted, peloton racing as we come into the braking zones at the back of the track at turn 7.
Yeah, and this is exactly what Nick Cassidy said he needed to do to help his teammate. So they've all sort of moved aside for him as we've seen them start to go 3 wide down the straight here. And this is where they're all trying to draft each other to save energy. It's like Buemi trying to go up the inside of everyone.
Buemi on the inside line trying to get through. They're side by side and there's going to be contact at this part of the track if they're not careful. They're diving everywhere and already Mortara stopped.
Oh, Mortara's gone.
Well, Mortara had a problem with his power battery supply the other day and now he's got it again. 8:21 and it's stopped, so that is out. That might be a safety car. We'll have a look. He's stopped. Exit turn 5. Buemi off the track. Buemi takes the lead at the penultimate corner. Evans down into 2nd position and up into 4th goes Jean-Noé Verne. They're all changing places. They come out the last corner. It's mayhem here. That's what we've got as we head down against turn 1. Everyone lifting off energy to turn the first corner. Buemi's going to have the lead in towards turn 1 though. Here comes Friends round the outside. Verne's in position 2 and they're doing it just exactly like in Portland, just lifting and coasting. Nobody wants to lead.
Nobody wants sneak attack, otherwise they're not going to get the toe. But don't forget the Envision started 9th and 10th in the grid and Buemi's P1 at the moment. So Evans just playing it safe. Cassidy doing well as well. But Verne dropped to 5th as we got race control.
Nothing happened from them. Nothing happened. So, green flag, that's what I've heard in my ears. As right round the outside, that's going to be Wehrlein. Verline coming in alongside Evans. He's come up into position as well. Frines is further back. Look at the McLaren of Sam Bird looking to the inside. The Maserati of Gunther's going through. And at the inside goes Vern. And is that Costa coming up into second position? Yes! And now third. So it's all changed, and Verline's going to take the lead of the race. But when he's lifted off massively coming out the corner, look at Verline, he's properly gone for it as we come into turn 9 and 10, into the braking zone. And again, at the inside, the moves go, and Verline leads the race.
Yeah, I wondered if Buemi wanted to lead for as long as he did, Josh. He's quite sensibly backed out to try and save some energy there, because I thought Buemi was trying to make a break for it much too early in the race. But look at behind. He's just shifting constantly 3 wide through the final corner between Cassidy, Gunther and Bird.
And it's 7 wide on the straight, though, on the grass. In towards turn 1. At the inside goes the Maserati of Gunther. Buemi squeezed out. And into the lead of the race goes Cassidy. What is going on? McLaren nearly in the wall of Bird as they come through. Buemi shuts the front door of Da Costa. This is madness. Absolute madness.
I have to say, this is a very good race so far. One of the races of the season. 7 wide into turn 1. You probably weren't expecting that. And Buemi's dropped into 5th. All of this. There's been a change in the lead every lap so far as we head towards the second sector.
Gunther hit the back of Cassidy. A little bit of wing damage then for the Maserati of Gunther. You can see it just starting to flap. Vern's got the inside line. Look at them lifting into the chicane. And there goes Buemi passing Verline. But there goes Da Costa right around the outside. That's going to be Buemi not paying attention if they're not careful. He just about clips the wall. Buemi gets a little shove onto the grass. Da Costa goes further back. And Gunther now takes second position. And now they lift to the back half of the track. This is stupid. This track was only added because they were supposed to have the attack charge. Without the attack charge, we're in trouble. Into attack mode goes Cassidy. And Gunther into the lead of the race goes, I think, everyone's taking attack mode. And Vern leads. That's who's leading the race. Jean-Eric Vern leads a lap. Unbelievable racing.
Yeah, it's all so tactical, though, at the moment, isn't it? With it looks like Cassidy Gunther trying to get rid of the attack mode early on. But it could potentially be more handy here as they all try and squeeze their way past Buemi. Bird sneaking through as well. When they're running so wide through the first couple of corners, it's an accident waiting to happen, really. Honest Fenestrat lost a whole load of places, drops to 16th position.
Everyone who's taken attack mode has taken option 1, which was 2 minutes to begin with, and that's to use then 6 minutes later on. Da Costa passes Buemi. He's dropped down to 6th. As we see here, attack mode is an extra power of 1 second per lap. There's the damage to the back of, I want to say, Cassidy's car in the Jaguar. He got run into, as I said, by Gunther.
The tail light flapping,
yeah. And everyone just dropping back. Listen to the engine, you can see the battery power. You can literally hear it regenerating of energy. Da Costa from 5th to 2nd. Da Costa's done. There he is. He's into 2nd place now. This is insanity.
Who would have thought it, Josh?
Oh, Jess, this is unbelievable stuff. And this is Peloton race. We've got another one tomorrow as well. And this is just, who's that? That's Vern taking attack mode. Da Costa takes the lead of the race. Roland Jaruvla coming in as well. How did they know they were coming? That's the question. They must have armed it just before and it automatically puts the graphic on. 3 lead changes in 4 laps. Cassidy also a leader as Verline touching the side of Gunther coming across the start line down towards turn number 1. Lap 5 and they're all Peloton racing once again and it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wide into the first corner. Da Costa keeps it. Porsche take 1, 2. Verline in the lead ahead of Da Costa. There's the 2 Envisions coming through with one of the McLarens of Bird. Buemi ahead in 7th. Bird 8th. Van Dorn 9th. Frines down to 10th as they all filter in. It's 3 wide as the 2 Jaguars side by side there with Sebastian Buemi. Buemi's going to try and huck in on the inside line. It didn't work out. Roland's got 1 minute 15 left of attack mode, but the 2 Porsches now at the front. They want to have an attack and just lift and coast, have their race together. Vern battling. He's got attack mode, but he's got less energy to save. Evans is right there just behind. It's just like Poland again. I can't imagine what Jack Pickering and Giovanni are thinking of this right now. They don't like these type of races. And look, they're all lifting and coasting. Contact! Off! Back! That's one of the DS Penske's who've got wing damage. And someone's got damage as well. It's Cassidy.
Cassidy's got wing damage.
Cassidy's got wing damage.
He made contact with
Vern. And Vern had wing damage too. So Cassidy's got wing damage. Vern's got wing damage. The 2 have been at the front.
Vern looks okay.
Let's have a look as Verline takes it. I think one of the McLarens had it too. I swear I saw a McLaren with wing damage, and it must have been Sam Bird because he was further up.
That's going to go under Cassidy's car.
They've called him into the pit lane.
Against the wheel. He's got to come in.
So, yep.
See that? He moved on me on the back straight, and then he put me straight on the wall.
Yeah, so there's the McLaren. So that is Sam Bird. There's Jake Hughes. The McLarens look okay, so I'm convinced it was Cassidy and Vern who had problems. We couldn't see with the camera angle on the lighter orange liveries to see there was a problem, but yeah, it was Cassidy who had a broken front wing. He's into the pits, and that's bad news for the Jaguar, who was doing so well in the championship. There was another move going on further back, as up into second and third. Bird now takes third. Verline Rowland dropped to fourth and fifth. DaCosta goes to second. Evans takes seventh. Gunther down to eighth. Frines up into 10th. Dennis into 11th, and Hughes down into 12th position, as Dennis has 3 minutes of time, so he's got a 4-4 duration, as we see a replay of it, Ed and Jess, and let's take a look into the chicane.
Now, this is where the contact was made with Vern, and that was a slight contact, but so big an impact, and we can see it on the onboard.
There's another one with, there is a McLaren with wing damage then, because that contact happened after the fact. We saw a McLaren coming into the braking zone with wing damage, so which one is it? It's Bird, I think it's got to be Bird, but we saw another contact down the straightaway before the braking zone, didn't we?
Yeah, it was as we see, there we go, Bird, and looks like DaCosta going into attack mode, so that makes it, yes, Penske controlling the front of the field now rather than Porsche. With Verline, it's dropped all the way down to 18th, actually.
Verline's got wing damage.
And I think Verline's lost the front wing.
Verline's got front wing damage.
Yeah, so this is really survival at the moment, as we see, that looks like Buemi running off track.
So Pascal Verline.
Back in the lead.
Oh, and there's contact everywhere to turn one.
Mess this race. My frontal is off.
So, yeah, we haven't seen that, but Verline, the championship leader, has lost his front wing. He's out of contention. Peloton-style racing's not working. So much for this race being a litmus test for the future races. As I said, we should have had attack charge here. We should have had the pit stops. This Peloton race should not be happening. It is happening because FIA Formula E can't get their act together with the attack charge. They've brought us to a circuit that doesn't work, and now we're having this, and it's having major repercussions in the championship. This is Verline, and how he lost his front wing. He's on the inside line of the track. Let's take a look at it.
That is narrow.
There, he's run over the back. Oh, and that's
he's
how.
He's hit the back of Vern, hasn't he?
And that's how.
And Vern's lost his little rear winglets.
So that's a second contact for Vern. That's coming out of turn 7, lifting and coasting. This race, in my opinion, should be stopped because someone's going to get killed out here. Honestly, that was right in the middle of the pack.
That was almost a big accident waiting to happen.
Yeah.
This is ridiculous.
Someone is going to get seriously hurt.
It's the closing speed, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's the closing
No one wants
speed.
to win.
I think they do. They're thinking about the end of the race. That's the problem. They're all trying to save as much energy as possible as Vern's winglet falls off and then just falls into the pack. Hopefully that doesn't get collected too much onto anyone's tyres. But again, they're trying to go 2 and 3 wide into turn 1. And I think it's two things. It's the track and it's the fragileness of the front wing, really. Because Misano, I think everyone knows we would have preferred to go to Rome this season, but that wasn't possible for a variety of reasons. And as we see, he's still squabbling going down the pack. I think that's Gunther trying to defend position from Rowland. So, as I said, it's really a matter of survival. And once more, like in Sao Paulo, it's Bird that's leading and just sort of hoping for a safety car, I think, at the present moment.
Bird, that was the last Peloton-style race we had in Sao Paulo. Bird took the win there as well. He saved the most amount of energy, did a fantastic move on the last lap. But Stoffel Van Dorn's going to go lay on the brakes on the inside line. Look at that, 3 wide into the braking zone. The two Pienskis trying to force their way through. Vern is going to really punch it out to Bird, isn't he? And round the outside, Evans into braking zone as well. And they're lifting and coasting through what is the fastest part of the track. Coming through turn 10 and 11 into the braking zone. They're all lifting up. Into attack mode goes Sam Bird. And that takes him for another 6 minutes. That's his second attack charge in this race. And more. Look at that. Vern has practically got a knife flying off his back with that winglet flying around. And this is just insanity racing. Vern and Verline under investigation as they're side by side across the line. Van Dorn with 15 seconds left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 wide as they come into that first corner. Van Dorn will hold on, but Evans has taken the lead. He cut the corner at turn 2. Evans hits the front, but how much does he want to be there? There's damage to Jake Dennis as well. Another championship contender with front wing damage. He's got a little punt in between there as well. Let's take a look how that happened. This is Nico Muller into the chicane. And how's it?
Again, it's so
Blamey and
nice.
Dennis ahead of him.
Go on, Jess.
Sorry, Ed was speaking. Sorry.
No, I'm done.
It was just so narrow, that part of the track. People are just trying to go for moves. It just doesn't work. The lifting and coasting does not work. You want to be playing this effectively, and it's not. And it's going to make for moves like this, which is, again, very tight.
That's again Roland getting shuffled back. Vern goes through. Fenestras has just jumped from 19th to 13th in one corner at that chicane. That's insane. And they haven't all taken attack mode either.
Someone's just taken his.
Evans in
That
front.
is-
Evans.
Did someone miss it?
Evans, did he take it? Evans missed it. No, he's got it. 2 minutes, right at the top. I was looking at the same thing. And
Yeah, I was panicking then because I was looking at the timings, and the
I
timings
was.
are messed up on my screen. But
yeah, because now we've got Evans down to third position. Again, 4 wide into the first corner. Van Dorn leads to Costa second. Evans fighting on the outside line. Coming on the inside, Ollie Roland. Well, we said that Roland might do that. Roland started. Where did Roland start this race? P5. He's now a bit, well, he's still P4, but he is right there in contention for an opportunity for Nissan here, but it's the Porsche powertrains that have got the best regen power. Vern, Buemi, Bird up. Frines, Roland, Gunther down as they come through and all try and go through. Look at this, 24 overtakes already in this race from Da Costa and from Van Dorn. Buemi, Gunther 21, Hughes on 19. Hughes up into 11th place. He started the race at the back. He's made 19 overtakes. That doesn't tell you how crazy this race is. I don't know what will, as Vern's front wing is flapping around quicker as well, like a kite. And now they're all lifting off into the braking zone. Into the lead of the race goes Mitch Evans. Stoffel Van Dorn goes to second. Da Costa goes down to third. Vern goes up to fourth position as well. And that's put Roland down to 8th place as he was lifting and coasting. Look at the vision of Buemi trying to go right round the outside of everyone. As now, whoa, Vern really lifting as we go to the inside. Da Costa trying to get through there, getting it ahead of Van Dorn. And off the track, Bird punches Vern off it as they come 3 wide into the last 2 corners. And contact again for Vern. Oh,
Yeah, Vern's car looking particularly badly beaten up.
Off Bird! Bird gets sent wide by the battling Da Costa and Vern. And the 2 DS Penske side by side. Look at that! Vern's passing, he put them on easy. Oh, Ed, go on.
Yeah, sorry, my picture keeps breaking up, so it's a little bit hard to commentate. But yeah, Jev with that rear winglet, I think it's fully fallen off now, but it was hanging by a cable for quite a lot of that. So we see Gunther getting pushed a little bit wide by that's
Right.
Da Costa and Dennis, I think, ahead of him.
Let me fix the picture for you
Yeah.
so it's
Got a
all working.
message, race control.
Go on, what is it? I'm just fixing the picture for you.
Race control, John Vern and Buemi moving under braking noted.
So they have noted that incident. I thought they
Yeah, there we
might.
go.
Yeah, go on.
Evans trying to go side by side with Bird, and it's very difficult to sort of keep track of where everyone is in this race. It's really the energy percentage that's more important, as we see there Vern retaking the lead then from that looks like Da Costa just behind then.
Yep.
So I think with all the energy saving, Verline and Cassidy might be able to catch back up to the pack, but it is a bit of a long shot here. If you lose your front wing, it is a huge, huge setback in this race, essentially. Yeah, you can't even really see them at the back of the field. You can only see the ERTs. But yeah, everyone just desperately trying to avoid each other. And I wonder when they're getting the attack modes out of the way as Bird goes for the outside then of John Eric Verne at the final corner.
Oh, he's gone wide.
And that's going to allow him through to save energy. So Vern lifting, Bird hits the front again. I've given up trying to track this race, the amount of lead changes we've had. I think I'm going to need more than 22 sheets of paper. I'll wait and print it out later on to tell you how many lead changes we've had. It's just like Portland last year. Sort of give up after a while.
Stephen Lane there.
Yeah. Oh, and again on the inside line.
Stephen Lane, because he lost the bet.
Yeah.
To dye his hair blonde. As look, again, Da Costa up the inside of Jev, his old teammate. And I wonder how much of Jev's car is going to be left intact. Luckily, he's still got the front wing, which is the key bit. Luckily, the rear winglets don't do a whole lot. Dennis has somehow survived all the argy-bargy to get up to 4th, which is impressive, given where he started. But that rear tail light is dangling all over the place, and he's sort of using it to try and ward off all the evil spirits behind, I guess.
In their absolute craziness as well. Omi and Josh Tiara in the background. They just haven't had a chance to speak yet. As contact again into the chicane. As Boemi gets forced out, Friends gets forced out, loses out 2 places, and Bird hits the front again, and Bird's got damage front wing. Bird's got a little nose cone damage.
I think he wasn't expecting that.
This feels a bit early, Sam. Feels a bit early for us.
Yeah, don't go to the front. It's.
I just wanted to get out of the mess. Just for a little bit.
We've got one of the...
Roland.
Oh,
sorry, it's alright. Yeah, Roland, I think. Takes attack charge mode.
Yeah,
sorry.
it was one of this time's taken out attack mode. No, it's not attack charge. Well, I wish it was attack charge.
I wish it was.
But is it going to happen?
No. Oh, we wouldn't be having this mess otherwise. This isn't a race. Portland was different because it was new, and it was exciting because it was side-by-side drama, and they had to do it for a couple of laps. This isn't fun. This is getting dangerous. Mazzano is not the type of circuit you can do this at because it's so fast. Portland has braking points, but Mazzano, if you get it wrong here, it hurts. Trust me. And there's Mortara's car still parked at the side of the track. He was out of the race. Bird leads from DaCosta, Verne, Boemi, Dennis, the top 5, as you all just sort of wait for it to change every 30 seconds. Well, later on today, we've got the Grand National here in the UK, the horse racing at Aintree. That lead changes around about 100 times during an event. Here, it's exactly the same. It's like we're watching the Formula E Grand National. As it's getting sent back was Verne. DaCosta takes up into second position again. Maserati on the grass here as well. They're home EPrix. And NATO's dropped to 14th place. And breathe.
I don't think the horses at the Grand National let each other through to save energy, though. So, big dive from Gunther there.
And they're coming round to the final furlong. Who's going to have the advantage here, then? Let's hear from Jake Dennis as they all lift and coast.
To be activated inside the top 4.
Contact.
You're asking about attack mode,
Not yet.
Dennis?
Not yet.
Not yet. Not yet. Boemi, 1:24.705, fastest lap of the race. Don't want to be doing that there, Sebastian. You'll be losing too much energy. It's a long old race. We're halfway in whatever this is in the Mazzano EPrix. I can't really call it a race.
DaCosta doing very well on energy. Look, 56.
Oh, yeah.
He's got 3% more than Boemi ahead of him.
How on earth has he done that? That's amazing stuff. And I think Roland's done the same, but he's now on attack charge. Has DaCosta got another one left? Boemi, I don't think he's taken them all, but they've got to have to save it. Friends is up. So both.
Lead.
Do you remember back in when they were known back in the old days of Envision as well? They were never great at power saving, and again they're still struggling out there. They're the worst on the grid right now because Friends is down at 52% of energy. Yes, we're at half distance, but anything can happen in the next 20 minutes. Into the braking zone for the chicane. Everyone jumping over. 5-second time penalty for Jean-Eric Verne for causing a collision. There's no pit stops in this race, so Verne has a 5-second. Basically, the field is currently separated by 5 seconds. That's him put right to the back. Say again. 5-second time penalty for Cassidy for causing a... No, hang on a minute. Never mind. That's changed on the timing monitor. I was going to say, I was about to interrupt myself.
I was going to say, it wasn't Cassidy's
Contact!
fault.
Up in the air! Over the sausage curb! Gunther getting caught! How is he okay? He got launched on the sausage curb! Flying up into the wall! How did he not crash out dramatically? That's impressive!
It's like his car was giving him wings.
I hope he's okay, because that would have hurt. Abby Eaton broke her back with that. I hope he's okay, and I hope the car's okay. That's nasty. He looks okay to me, and it looks okay, but that was a nasty one. That was a full Mark Webber fly. Get rid of these sausage
curbs. It's like it's giving him wings, Josh.
Take a look at it then, Jess. You've been complaining about it all weekend long. Perfect camera. Oh,
it's not. Oh, forget this. It's not the sausage curb, is it?
He gets pushed wide here, I think, by Evans.
Yeah, look, yeah, there's Evan, and there's
Boemi's though.
Yeah, sausage curbs, Jess.
Oh, it is. Oh, for good.
Double.
Right,
double
that's
sausage
it.
curb.
Sausage curbs should be banned from single seaters. End of. I just had enough. It's been affecting someone every session. Get rid of it right now.
Gunther might be in a wall of his own in a minute. He might be upside down. That was so close coming through the chicane and into the braking zone as Evans takes attack mode and Verne takes the lead.
Ed. Oh my goodness.
Van Dorn was losing his front wing for sure there, and then I thought Dennis was going to get pushed off track. Somehow, it's like a sort of ballet on ice at the moment. They're all desperately trying to just avoid each other and stay on track while using as little energy as possible.
I have no idea if this is a race or not, or Wow.
Or if it's just like a parade or something, or like say you go in the lead, you go in the lead.
We've got a swimming pool. Yeah, we've got a swimming pool here. Can it be Swan Lake?
or Josh, the M25.
Yeah, at Russia. Give us a second. There'll be a northerner down with a tyre line out the window, smashing windmills. I say that as a northerner, so I can get away with it. Loads of drama coming through here, and now everyone. Then look at Roland. He's in third position and going on the attack here. And everyone lifting and coasting. Evan's going to lift off. Roland might fancy it. No, he's lifting off too. Vern's going to make it a sandwich on the curb. Again goes Gunther. At the inside goes Van Dorn. Takes fifth position away from Gunther. So that changed as quickly. And he's going to lose another position here to NATO. NATO's sniffing up the inside line. Here comes Roland and the Nissan. Oh, he's chosen the inside line. DaCosta trying to go around the outside. Evans shuts that door off. I don't know how to call this.
I tell you, who has been saving energy. Sete Kamara. He's got about
Hughes?
4 or
That's
5% more than the people around him. His
Puncher!
bird goes off track.
Puncher!
He's got Puncher.
Bird with a puncher, so he wanted to stay out of the mess, and now he's out of the race. He'll get back in.
That's the first time I've seen a hand-cooked Puncher in
Yeah.
Formula E.
Yeah, that's weird. It takes a lot to
Free
cut
ride in
these.
turn one, and DaCosta ahead.
And so many people nearly in the wall. Oh, and sliding there goes Dennis. NATO is now ahead. He's in 6th position. And filter out again, please. And Constantina up. I think this is a new record for overtakes. Go on, Jess.
They're also tightly bunched together. It's like F1 sim racing or something.
Here's a tyre. Yeah, let's cut away from the action to a tyre.
Unfortunately, suspension or I'm not sure. I got a tap from the back.
So is Bird fully out if it's suspension damage? Vern leads to
How big it is.
Oh my word! No! 5 wide into the break. It's over 8 and 9. How did they all get through that? Oh, they didn't.
Someone's gone off.
Dennis cut the corner. And so he's dropped down to 9th position. Evans got shoved out there as well. How did they all not make it in the wall? Frying just dropped down to 18th position. That's why attack mode's coming in. Roland takes the lead. Sebastian.
It's good for trying to go for moves on the inside, but couldn't make it stick.
And
we also got
damage.
Evans and DaCosta going for it.
Damage. Vern, front wing damage. He's now got front wing damage, Jean-Eric Vern. Look, it's hanging off. That's going to end up underneath his car. Vern's in trouble. And I hope he knows it as he takes the lead. And
it's hanging a bit precariously, but it's just at an angle, so the supports are doing their job, but only just.
That's Bird a lap down. Bird's back in this race, but a lap down. So Bird's waiting.
Obviously got to let everyone through, yeah.
And
And around the outside goes DaCosta again. How many times has DaCosta gone round the outside of everyone in this race? At least 6 or 7 times now.
Vern leads, but with a very damaged front wing. As you say, he's just scraping on the bottom. The struts doing their job and holding up. It looks about as good.
Safe.
It looks about as good as Sharon Osbourne's latest face lift as well as they come through. Back on the power. And again, Vern's taken maximum attack mode as well. And now into the lead goes DaCosta. And back through as well. Contact again in the Constantina! Stay together! Everyone nearly rammed up at each other. Coming into 8 and 9.
Gunther's used a lot of energy. He's on 38%. Costa on 41. Yeah, this is that 4-wide moment again. And somehow sanity prevails. But they nearly went into madness there.
Dennis wisely getting out of it, as we saw at the exit of the track. And Vern's wing getting worse and worse and worse. And Vern and DaCosta still want to... Is that DaCosta? No, Vern leads, not DaCosta. The timer screen can't even keep up with this. There goes the McLaren. That's Hughes going 3 wide. He's going to get past Boemi and Van Dorn. Only to 8th position. Lead changing again. Roland's right there. They're going to have to start pushing now as well, because you're going to have to want to lead this one. So Roland might actually win a race for Nissan at the moment as well. He's getting right back in the mix of things, isn't he? Oh, never mind. There comes DaCosta. DaCosta's literally fighting for his seats.
DaCosta trying to go for move on Roland.
And Virtual Race Engineer saying DaCosta's in a strong energy position. I think Jess as well at a crucial time from what we've been hearing.
Podiums, as you say.
Pitches are very choppy and blurry at the moment.
I will adjust. I will adjust. And don't forget, Vern's got
so
a
many overtakes, even the broadcast can't keep up.
Vern, don't forget, has got a 5-second time penalty as well, guys.
Does.
So that'll be changing over as well. Into the chicane we go once more.
That surely means this is Roland, DaCosta and Gunther fighting for the lead at the moment. With
Yeah.
potentially Norman Neto just about trying to get into this podium squabble as well.
You're saying about the systems keeping up to date. That is exactly what's happening. The systems can't keep up to date as well because the timing screen is overriding everything that we're using at the moment. It can't keep up with the systems trying to run it all. This is just like in Portland last year. Look at that. Roland now leads the title. If he just stays where he is, he's got the championship lead to Vern. Vern with a 5-second time penalty, let's not forget. So he may be the net leader, but he's not the leader of the race, and he certainly won't be after this because round the outside, 4 wide, into turn 1. Oh, did he take it? No, Roland's taking it. Vern's coming back, and that's at the inside. What is going on? Roland leads this race. DaCosta can't get through.
Only 8 laps to go. No safety cars, surprisingly, despite 3 cars running issues. So maybe Roland's picked this moment to go.
Yeah, go. He's got no... Has he got an attack left? I'm not sure. I don't know. I just don't know. Vern has got to know that
I think he used both of them. Oh, DaCosta around the outside of Jev.
Would Vern try and help his teammate? Where is Van Dorn? 12th. Oh, and this back straight away. Oh, there's more carbon fibre flying up in the air. Oh, now Vern hits the front again. Nothing to lose, I suppose. He's not going to get a 5-second gap in 8 laps. I was wondering what that was on the timing screen.
Definitely not.
So the battle is actually Roland DaCosta, and right round the outside, Jake Dennis coming to the party. And Gunther up the inside, Jaguar coming in of Evans as well. And it's 2 by 2. It's like we're watching NASCAR. If NASCAR were this exciting this season, which sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't. And swap sides, and up into the lead of the race effectively. Oh, and off the track, on the grass, touching Roland. DaCosta getting his fist out. He's giving him no room. Giving him absolutely no room. Down to turn 1. Roland has to lift. That's going to give the advantage to Gunther. And that's put Gunther in a disadvantage. And Gunther goes through. Wow, didn't expect that one. Breathe.
Yeah, the thing is, Gunther, DaCosta, Vern are all in attack mode and using it off. But yeah, DaCosta in the best position energy-wise, and then it's Roland.
Free to make the track as wide as possible.
As we said, he's making the track as wide as possible as DaCosta, so that's what we kind of knew.
Is he doing like a Checo Perez like style of defence there?
Yeah.
That's what it sounds like.
Frines is in the pit lane. Frines is in the pits. Now, what's he done that we're not seeing?
And he's still using an attack. Something's gone off someone's card there, or is it just me?
No, something flew off.
I think that's Dennis's tail light hanging off.
Yeah, he had damage
that's what
earlier.
I thought. So it's not just me. Good.
In all this mess, ERT are inside the points at the moment with Dan Tickton running in 9th place. So ERT stand to collect a point.
Oh, there's Roland on the outside of Gunther into... I can't remember which turn it is because it's a long circuit. But
13.
9 and 10, isn't it?
That is turn 12 at the bottom of the hill. 13 and 14. This is turn 14 now. 8, 9 is the chicane.
Still got another day to learn this.
Yeah. It's confusing me because turn 5 on this layout is actually turn 9 in MotoGP.
DaCosta's starting to defend now. He's hit the lead, and he's still got about a minute of attack mode left. So Porsche could have judged this perfectly. And Vern is just going to hold up Roland and Gunther behind. So I think DaCosta's in the box seats right now.
I've lost my picker winner. I was going to say Verline is 19th.
I've lost my picker winner as well because he's going to get a penalty.
Ugh. Who had DaCosta? That's a surprise. Oh, debris on the track there. So here comes Roland round the outside.
Oh, that's Roland trying to get past Vern on the exit.
He's kept that power.
He's going to make it stick though. He's keeping a good line now.
Nah, he's going to have to lift and
Roland's
coast.
using less energy than Vern.
Oh, and Vern's trying to have a go at DaCosta. I don't think they've told him about the penalty at the moment. They're side by side. Surely Vern would know he's got a 5-second time penalty. Surely. I can't see why they wouldn't have told him. And there's another one. Van Dorn's got wing damage. Van Dorn has wing damage. Both DS Penske's have wing damage now in this EPrix. As at the inside. Gunther coming out, nearly kamikazing the side of Roland and Vern. And Vern shuts the door. Gunther has to lift off. And that's put Roland down to about 4th position. And Vern going for the lead. But Roland round the outside of the last corner, getting ahead of Gunther. Fantastic.
Yeah, Vern Vern is defending, forcing people to try and go up the inside, defending the inside. Then that creates a space around the outside, and Roland takes the lead.
Round the outside into turn 1. 3 takes 1. Forget the Spice Girls, 2 become 1. 3 become the lead for Roland. And now he's going to defend it from Da Costa like crazy into turn 5. And Da Costa riding the tail light.
Not
This is
again,
more like 15
Josh.
or 16 become 1 at the moment. It's a
Wow,
bit of a crowd.
Ed, wow.
There's a saying for that, as there's damage to the side of Evans as well on his front wing. He's got a snapped winglet. Evans really struggling. Vern just crumbling. Van Dorn has crumpled.
Yeah, look at Roland. He's gone.
He's gone.
On for it.
We got some cordial collision between John Evan and Rareline Never action, and Van Dorn and NATO incident has been noted.
Evans' front left side of the wing has gone. Now his right side has been clipped as well by Gunther to come into that braking zone as well. So they're all desperate. Look at that Van Dorn. Intense position, but has damage. That's Gunther trying to have a look at Vern for third. Roland has jumped right to the front. Costa though at 12 places. If he can get 13, how amazing would that be for him? Absolute insanity in this EPrix as they continue on the attack and continue on the push out of the last corner. Lap 24 of 28. Roland, Acosta, Vern, 1, 2, 3. Gunther, Evans, Dennis, 4, 5, 6. Tictum, Seti, Kamara. Then Fenestras, Van Dorn complete the top 10. Boemi, NATO, Hughes, Degrassi, Muller, Deruvala, De Vries, then we get Frines, Cassidy, Verline, Birds a lap down.
Rennie and Dennis incident noted as well.
Yeah.
So there's quite a few incidents happening at the same time. I'm keeping an eye on race control. So it seems like Ed's got the action covered, so I'll keep an eye on race control.
Yeah, look at Sede Kamara, 22% energy. He's saved more than anyone ahead of him. Ticked him ahead. He's done fairly well as well on 18, 19%. But it's really Roland on 20%. That's got track position. So Da Costa, if he wants to win this one, next 4 laps, he's got to make that move. And here he comes down the back straight.
And Vern's
He's going to try and
make
go around
it.
the outside, and so's Jev.
Vern takes second position on the road, and that Costa as more cars off the track, and flying off there was NATO with Hughes' battle. So NATO will have to give that place back.
Dennis as well.
Let's have
lost a
Vern.
bit of his front wing.
Vern here. He's picking up now. You better on suck than the guys behind you. A tiny bit less than the guys in front, but slow.
Are they going to appeal this penalty? Because they're not telling him. They're telling him to push hard and go for it. So are they going
They're telling him to push hard because he's got that penalty.
5 seconds in this race, it's already put him to the back of the field anyway. He's already out of it. Vern will score no points. He's
It's
in the
Costa.
tractor. Yeah, it takes second on the inside turn 1. Vern tries to come back to fight. Roland has now pulled the biggest gap of the race, 0.8 of a second. Yeah, that's how much it is. Whew,
Wow.
word. Oh, and breathe.
How are we going to cope tomorrow, Josh?
It's 2 laps shorter. We'll be done by now.
I wonder if Roland is doing this because remember Tokyo where he lifted off to let Gunther through and then tried to come back at the end and ran out of time. He's doing the opposite strategy now. He's taking track position early on and then trying to weave down this straight to defend that sort of thin air so that Da Costa can't slipstream him as easily.
Move further back. That's going to be a little look from Van Dorn. Both ERTs are inside the points at the moment. Tictum 7th, Sete Kamara in 8th position. That's brilliant for the two of them to get good points.
Look at Tictum's front wing.
Oh.
It looks barely hanging on. And oh dear, Dennis and Evans losing their rear taillights. It's a brilliant move from Dennis up the inside of Mitch Evans to take 5th place.
There is literally debris everywhere you look. It's getting impossible to actually race on a clean line here. Dennis still carrying that damage to the rear taillight. Has it gone? No, it's still falling off. Oh, there it goes over the curb. On board with Dan
Evans
Tictum.
has lost his tail as well.
Yeah.
No added laps. No added laps for the first time in ages.
Yeah, very long time. We haven't had any added laps added to this one, so that's great news. I think we had a safety car in Mexico, didn't we? But it went to 2.
Yeah, we had a safety car in Mexico, yeah.
And there goes Da Costa on the inside line.
Look at this.
Roland's going to try and hold it around the outside, though. A little bit of a drag, wheel to wheel, and Da Costa gets his elbows out and takes the lead of the race. He saved the energy, and now they're level on energy, and Da Costa's got more. That was no added laps, I think, from the race director.
Was he trying to speak, but just didn't, it was just like vanish or something.
He just said no
Van
added
Dorn and
laps.
Gunther very low on energy. Vern as well.
Now, Da Costa, I think, has got this one. I think he's got the energy to push away as there goes the inside line. That's Dennis, isn't it? Passing Gunther, yeah, with a tack load.
Yeah, because Gunther knows he's about to run out here if he's not careful.
Where did Dennis start?
Dennis started...
He was just outside the top 10 in 14th or something like that, was it?
17th.
That's good.
17th he started. Dennis started 17th. He's up to 4th. Maybe we should have more of these races. It helps those. Oh, and Cassidy has stopped. Cassidy has stopped on the track. We're at last corner. He's not in the pit lane. Cassidy stopped at the last corner, turn 14.
No yellow
Is
flag,
there going to be yellow?
Yeah. Let's have a listen.
No.
Dennis?
Get ahead. Got 60 seconds left in attack, still 1% more than Jeff.
Well, that was a 20-second old message. So go after Jeff, basically. But Jeff's got a penalty, so Dennis is going to get the podium here. Cassidy, according to our timing screen, has stopped exit of turn 14. So I hope that's not going to cause a yellow flag. It's too late to add laps. So it would be a virtual if anything needs to be deployed, because we're about to start the last lap, so we can't go to a full safety car. Look at Dennis. He wants to go to the outside line to get ahead of Vern. Da Costa has the lead. Can Roland do anything? They're level on energy with 1 lap to go. Round this circuit, you only use 5, so go for it. And look at this as well, because Dennis just absolutely wants to go through. Vern is blocking every opportunity. I think, look at that. He's literally, Vern is defending hard on the inside line. That's moving under braking. That's not allowed, Jeff. That's not allowed.
I think Jeff's a bit fed up with how his race has gone, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, because he started pole and he was expected to finish this in the lead, but it just goes to show. I did say pole does not matter. Someone's gone into the pit lane.
That's Cassidy. That's what the race director was saying. Cassidy is stopped in pit lane. Pit entry is closed. Pit entry is closed. So that's what he was saying. Yeah. So anyway, so they'll be coming into the pit lane anyway now, so just don't come into the pit lane until the end of the race when you can carefully go through. But that's why Cassidy stopped and he's out of the race. It's a battle at the front then finally. It's a 2-horse race here. Da Costa looking for his first win in a very, very, very long time when he's seat at Porsche. Bird's in the pit lane, so he's going to get a penalty. Bird's pit, he's not allowed. Scott Elkin closed the pit lane. But is Da Costa, whose seat is under pressure as well. Is he about to win here as there's contact from the back in the picture? Someone's off at turn 7. Someone's off at turn 7. It's car 18 off and Jaruvala's off the track. Jaruvala's off at turn 7. Double yellow further back. So there has been contact. But 2% and 1%. Who's going to win the first ever Mazzano EPrix? Da Costa, whose seat is under pressure by Nico Muller, who did a private in-season test. Ollie Rowland, who wants to win for the first time in a long time. Both of them wanting to stop being bridesmaids and finally have their day out of the last corner. It's a drag race to the line. It's Antonio Felix Da Costa who wins in Mazzano. Fantastic! That is a drive and a deserving win when he needs it the most. There's a car off in the background as everything goes nuts at the line. Sete Kamara gets 7th place. Dan Tickton finishes 5th. Both ERTs get well-deserved points. Dennis 3rd, Gunther 4th, and Vern finishes in 8th, but hasn't had that time penalty added. But double yellow turn 7.
Yeah, he has.
105 seconds, put him 8th.
No clue.
P1 mates. P1. Great job. Good job.
This is a DAC attack.
Should we try and talk to him?
DAC attack. Here we go.
Antonio
there he
is up here. Antonio is Karun up here in the commentary box. How are you feeling? What an amazing... Well, you must be... Are you relieved? Are you happy? After the start of the season, what a great story.
Honestly, mate, I've never doubted. Yeah, tough start to the season, but we've been on a roll lately. Just got to fix my qualities a little bit more and make my life a little bit easier. But, yeah. Thank you. And I hope your kid enjoys this one.
Oh, you know he's your biggest fan. Just want to say, you know, in terms of the race, how nervous were you in that pack? It looked pretty sketchy at times.
Yeah, it was. I think the biggest thing really was awareness, you know, make sure you know where you are, don't hit anything. I kept the car in one piece. I got hit by Jeff with like 4 or 5 laps to go, which damaged a little bit my right-hand side corners, which, yeah, most of them are to the right. But we were really good on energy, did a good strategy with the team, and we were able to bring this one home.
Okay, all teams, just be aware. Stay right, stay to the right when you enter the pit lane. There's a car there on driver's left. Please stay right.
There it is. Cassidy.
Okay, follow marshal instructions there. Follow marshal instructions.
Yeah, Antonio, amazing job from Antonio Felix da Costa.
Yeah, just said to the right. Right, we're going to sign Ed Hunter out here from the comms box. Ed, what did you make of the Mazzano EPrix?
It was pretty good. Is Roland on the radio?
Yep.
What did we just do, man?
Well done, mate.
That's Roland in P2. 4 tenths back. Go on,
Good
Ed.
point. Fastest lap with an extra point. Yeah, so Roland, while he'd be disappointed not to come away with the win there, I think he did a pretty good job. He's leading the championship now, 4 podiums in a row. I think Roland has got to be feeling confident. Interesting right at the end there, I think Evans ran right out of energy. So the EIT is going really conservative early on from the back of the grid to save energy. That really worked for them. I'm so happy to see Tictum in the top 5 because I think a lot of people have been criticizing him, not least us in the podcast a couple of times. And it was great to see him put in a superb performance, Seti Kamara right with him as well. I think Kamara did the best job on energy today in terms of saving it, especially considering how inefficient the ERT is. It seemed to actually work today, which was a surprise. Jev defending like crazy. Didn't quite work out for him in the end. I think DS Penske did what they could, but the cards didn't quite fall their way. A lot of people, I think, are going to say, I know exactly what Jack Jorman is going to say. He's going to say, worst Formula E race of all time. I think first 20 laps or so were just absolutely chaotic. And I think those last 10-8 laps were really where the race was won and lost for Da Costa and Roland, especially with Jev holding Dennis up. That kept him out of play. So lots of big stories. I think losing the front wing, as much as the Peloton style racing doesn't help, I think it's the design of these Gen 3 cars. So I hope Gen 3.5 solves that, because that really eliminated poor Cassidy and Verline as well. I think at the end, De Vries was the one who crashed into De Ruvela, and that's being investigated after the race. So we'll have to see what happens there. But yeah, I think that's all my thoughts. Right, I got 10 minutes until there's an endurance race commentary, but I enjoyed watching it. See you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow, Ed. Thank you very much. Take care. Bye-bye. So, Jess, we're still an ad break here. Let's drag JT up to the comms box if we can with their camera, because it makes the most sense. And Omi is still, I believe, eating. He's been having dinner throughout all of this. Jess, we're going to throw over to the world feed. We'll get your thoughts on the podium in a second. And let's throw it back to the world feed for some interviews post-race. And now I'm saying that, I can't breathe. The asthma's kicked in because of that race after this. Let's go back over to the world feed. Actually, let's take a look at Jake Dennis quickly. This was contact on the last lap there, Jess. I think this is the safety car, isn't it? So this is Dennis on the inside line, taking third. This is post-race, right? What is this? I have no idea what we're watching here on board with Jake Dennis's replay. Not a clue what we were watching there. Not a clue. There goes Alexa Rendell, just behind, off to her post-race podium shouting. Let's get your thoughts then, Jess, on this one before we hear from the drivers. What did you make of the EPrix? Mike.
There we go.
Hi.
First half of the race, absolutely chaos. Then nobody wanted to lead that race, and then lifting and coasting did not help. But let's have an interview with Da Costa.
Yep, with Nikki.
Really a precision drive from a champion. Congratulations, our race winner.
Thank you. Yeah, what a mess. That was crazy, but I had a lot of fun. It's more like being smart, being aware of where everybody is. At times we were like 4 or 5 side by side, people coming from every direction. I got hit a few times, but luckily nothing too big to my car. At the end there, I was really struggling to turn to the right. But yeah, I mean, in the end we held on. I think the strategy in terms of energy was perfect. We went at the right time. And yeah, it's good. It was that was a proper DAC attack.
That's what we like to see. And, you know, I know it's been a challenging couple of weeks for you. It couldn't be a more perfect time to have a win.
Life is like this. There's ups and downs in life, and nobody's perfect. And and we got to be a team when times are bad. So I think today will be good for that. You know, I'm here for the long haul, and yeah, it's hopefully this is the first of the season and the first of many this year.
First of many indeed. Thank you so much. Today's race winner, Antonio Felix da Costa for Porsche.
Antonio Felix da Costa then winning for the first time since Cape Town 2023. Great drive from the Portuguese. Saw him there making some moves on Oliver Rowland in the Nissan. And he was there and thereabouts on the entirety of the race, wasn't he? He did a bit of grass tracking on some occasions. You saw some bodywork flying as well. But Antonio was the man who was really flying as he took the checkered flag here in Misano. Well, let's head down to Oliver Rowland then. A fourth consecutive podium for Team Nissan.
Oliver Rowland, this is just phenomenal. Your fourth consecutive podium. Describe this feeling.
Well, amazing. I think we had a mega start to the year with 3 podiums. We felt like they were not fortunate, but we'd maximised everything. And coming here, it was going to be a little bit more tricky on a high-efficiency track, but I'm pleasantly surprised. The car was mega, the energy management was good, and yeah, we had one of the best paces out there. So yeah, really confident and really happy.
It was a very busy race. Did your strategy play out the way you wanted it to, or you were just working it out depending on what everyone else was doing?
Yeah, I had to adapt because I wanted to obviously save quite a lot of energy, and then people got quite hungry in the beginning, so I was probably down to like 12th, 13th, and then I realised that being in 12th and 13th wasn't the best place because people were being rather optimistic. So I decided to come back towards the front, sit around 5th or 6th, and then when I got the information that the energy was good, that I decided to go into the top 3, and I think me, Jev and Antonio kind of worked quite well, blocking the track as a bit of a 3, which was quite tactical, and yeah, then Antonio didn't want to go, so I went, and then for me, 2nd was a good result today.
Well, I need to check the calculations, but I think you will be at the top of the championship standings now, so congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Thanks very much, Oliver Rowland.
Yeah, confirmation Oliver Rowland is at the top of the championship standings, despite having not won a race in 2024. 4 consecutive podiums. Very good job for the boy from Barnsley. That's the moment he came over the line to take 2nd place. Surely it is only a matter of time before we see Rowland and Nissan on the top step in his form so far this year. And that's what we need to team principal Tommaso Volpe as well. I've also one thing about Tommaso. Fantastic karaoke music we saw from him in Tokyo a couple of weeks ago. Let's go down to Jake Dennis then, 3rd on the podium.
Well, Jake Dennis, you started from P17 that you are well aware of, and you said you were going to be on the podium, so you've just delivered exactly what was expected.
I mean, yeah, we've obviously got a really efficient powertrain, so have a P1 and P3 for Porsche is a special day for us. From my side, yeah, I was confident going into the race, but it's been a real struggle for me this weekend. You know, we've been one of the slowest cars all weekend, and over 1 lap. And then, yeah, the boys gave me a good car in the race, good strategy, and yeah, just good awareness from myself, Oliver. We can always work together a little bit, and yeah, we both got on the podium. So yeah, overall, really happy. Probably be a bit of the same again tomorrow, you know, starting to probably towards the back and then come back through. But overall, very happy on a day like today to get a podium when you're not feeling good in the car. They're the times to score big.
You used your attack mode pretty late in the race. That strategy massively plays to your advantage. Is that going to be something you'll do again tomorrow?
To be honest, I didn't plan to leave it that late, but just the way everything was working out, I had to, and the race was getting faster and faster, and that allowed me to not lose too many positions after taking it. And yeah, felt like it could have had a couple of moves on Jev, but I started to suffer with a couple of other issues on the last 2 laps, so I had to consolidate. And knowing he had the 5-second penalty, I knew it was a P3. So overall, very happy.
Brilliant, congratulations. We look for a repeat performance tomorrow. Jake Dennis.
Jake Dennis, a 2nd consecutive podium. As he said, car not exactly the quickest in terms of qualifying, but he was punchy on the grid, and he had good reason to be, as it turns out, going and taking a 2nd consecutive podium in the row, 3rd on the road in Tokyo, and 3rd here in Misano as well. I think he'll be pretty pleased with that, all things considered. Shout out as well to Sergio Sette Camara and the ERT team, because Dan Tictum got 5th place in that one, which is quite an incredible result. Sette Camara in 7th place. That means ERT scored 16 points today. That's the most they've scored as a team since Mexico City in 2018.
Yeah, well, here's the results. Antonio Felix da Costa is victorious. Ollie Rowland finishes in 2nd. Jake Dennis goes down to 3rd. Maximilian Gunther finishes in 4th. Dan Tigton's 5th. 6th place in the field as well. That goes down for Mitch Evans. Sergio Santacamara is 7th. Jean-Over in 8th. After that 5-second time penalty has been applied. Norman Nato 9th and Stoff Van Dorn in 10th. He got lucky actually, Vern, with that contact on the last lap. That put Jarubala down, created the gap, and he slots in between. Sasha Fenestraz is 11th with Lucas de Grassi 12th. Nico Muller in 13th. The Apps that started so well couldn't hold the energy. And then it's Boemi in 14th, Hughes 15th. De Vries received a 5-second time penalty before Verline Frines in 18th. Jarubala Bird, Cassidy Mortara out of the race. Oliver Rowland now leads the championship on 73 points to Jake Dennis on 68. Dennis right back up there. Rowland at the front. Brits lead for Hillary once more. Verline, no points. He's down to 63 again. Cassidy on 61 again. No points. And then Gunther on 60. Again, no points on the board for him, unfortunately, as well. Further down, Evans on 50. 45 for DaCosta as well. And points finally for the ERTs. Dan Tigton now on 10. Sergio Santacamara on 9. Both of them getting well-deserved points. Still no points for Lucas de Grassi or Nick de Vries. Or now Johan Jarubala was on course, got kicked out. In the Teams Championship, Jaguar lead on 111 points to Porsche on 108. Andretti has 87. Nissan 81. DS Penske fumbled 62. Maserati 60. McLaren 55. Envision 41. Then it's 19 points now for RT. 6 points for App Cupra. Still no points for Mahindra in a miserable season. And in the Manufacturers Championship that was added after the last race in Sao Paulo, it is Porsche leading the way on 162, Jaguar 140, Nissan 128. Then we see Stellantis on 113. The ERTs are on 119, the Electric Racing Technologies. And Mahindra, they do have points, but 6 points only courtesy of APT, not the factory team. So we're getting ready for the podium ceremony. Let's hand it back over to the World Feed.
Well, what a race it has been here in Misano. That had it all, didn't it, really? Drama, delight, despair for some. And DaCosta taking the victory at the checkered flag. They'll be absolutely over the moon with that. We'll get the podium celebrations underway here in Misano in front of the adoring Italian fans before too long. Looking forward to seeing what that will be like for DaCosta's first visit onto the podium since South Africa last year. Probably modelling will be the team representative as well, and I wonder what the atmosphere will be like between those two, because as we understand it, they haven't exactly been on the best terms so far this year.
Yeah, but success is a great thing to bring people together. I'm sure they'll be high-fiving, hugging, and all that sort of good thing. But yeah, timely victory for DaCosta, and that will certainly maybe heal some of the cracks.
Yeah, absolutely. Wonderful. What a race it has been here in Misano. And the good thing is, of course, we get to do it all again tomorrow. 2 laps shorter in terms of the race distance for round 17, which is only going to make things even more interesting. But as we see the 3 drivers stood waiting to get themselves onto the podium, looking forward to these celebrations. That there, Antonio Felix DaCosta. They won't actually be Florian Modley making his way onto the podium. Be a different team representative by the looks of things. What a drive it has been for Antonio Felix DaCosta. His first win in South Africa in 2023 here in Misano.
Here we go then, onto the podium ceremonies. And it is Alexa, I can hear her.
Ready for the podium celebrations here in Rimini to begin.
Yeah, I thought I heard Alexa Rendell in the background, just wasn't 100% sure. Glad they're giving her more opportunity this year, because she has been doing the podium for a couple of years now. And behind-the-scenes media stuff. So there's the podium ceremony, the 1, 2, 3s already. Someone's already looks like they've released the confetti cannon a little bit too early. On the back straight there. Josh T's stepped up to the com box as well. Josh T, while we get everyone on the podium, what did you make of that one from the pits?
There's one word, and I'll play the sound effect when we're off air, but chaos.
Yeah.
That was insane. 5 wide, 6 wide, 7 wide on the grass at Misano. 4 wide going into a chicane. What could go wrong? Everything. And everything did go wrong. 2 laps shorter, but I think it'll be the same chaos tomorrow as well.
I don't know if Omi's near a microphone, but I want to know what the hell he's been on about in the
definitely.
chat. Well, he's definitely. Oh, right.
Yeah, he's
What's been
definitely-
going on in the YouTube chat when I've been doing this with Jess and Ed?
Yeah, what's going on? Yeah.
scheduling who's going to be where and who's going to be where. But yeah,
People are obsessed with you, basically, Josh.
and Omi, yeah,
And Omi.
and yeah, just us all.
It's nice to feel wanted. Oh, what a race. MotoGP is up in an hour's time. Josh T will take you through the start of that one, as I'll be watching the end of the Grand National. Grand National starts at 4. It should end at about 4:20. So Josh T is only going to take like 10 minutes.
Watching it now on the big screen, because formerly he's down here. So yeah, they're just warming up with an hour to go.
Have you got TNT? Did you finally get... What? How are you watching? Have you got TNT now?
No, I'm watching it on the call, like on my screen. But
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
What? I'm confused. What are you
Discord.
Oh, I see. Right, you've put the... Okay, I get you. I really...
Right, yeah.
I was really
but on
confused.
the big screen, my 40-inch, it's
Yeah.
Grand National.
Yeah.
Oh, I get you. Yeah, they're warming up.
Same will be for MotoGP. It'll be on my monitor here, like here, and then up there, which is where my yeah.
Well, the Portuguese driver of Antonio Felix da Costa is going to take away the champion from season 6, when we had all that COVID drama and 6 races in 9 days to decide the championship. And it was da Costa then who took the championship on the first weekend, and we all went, okay, that was a waste of time. But after all the questions around whether or not he'll be with Porsche, even for the end of the season, he stepped up in Tokyo and he has mastered Mazzano. Antonio Felix da Costa wins, and we will hear the Portuguese national anthem.
Pascal Verline watches on. Now time for the national anthems.
And now the national anthem of the winning driver from Portugal.
Don't need to say anything because Alexa does it for me.
Costa takes top honours then here in Mazzano. Now time for the German national anthem for Team Porsche.
And next,
See?
the national anthem of the winning team from Germany.
She does it for me. Don't do anything. That was an abrupt end, wasn't it, from the TV World feed?
Yeah.
Wasn't even me. As you can still hear it on in the background. So I did not press a button. Honestly. I pressed it to turn it off from the world feed, but it just like went whoop onto the podium. Then we get. It will be the constructors first, I presume, as well. Yeah, winning team. Margot and Lucrea present the trophy, the FIA Formula E Girls on Track Initiative. Porsche win again this season. I believe that's their second of the season. But we have 6 different winners from the opening 6 races, everyone. Who says Formula E isn't competitive in Gen 3? 6 different winners in 6 different races. Jake Dennis finishes in 3rd position and gets a trophy back for Andretti. The champion from last year, back after a very difficult start to the season. Slowly but surely is starting to close in on the gaps at the front, which is exactly what we wanted to see. And further on as well, 2nd place to Oliver Rowland. No, that is not Alexandra Gag. I thought it was in the back. Rowland, 4 podiums in a row in 6 races. He's our championship leader going into tomorrow. And the race win for the first time in about 3 seasons. Antonio Felix da Costa, at a crucial time in his Formula E career, has delivered and wins the Mazzano EPrix. The champ is back. That's how you do it. Can he do it tomorrow? And now, as ever, it's very popular in this part of the world. It's champagne time! The Magnum goes off, and a big drink all around. Let the parties and celebration begin here in Mazzano. But in less than 24 hours, race 2 will have concluded, and it could be exactly the same. 26 laps is the distance tomorrow, and a long way to go. Who will win the 2nd Mazzano EPrix? Round 7 of the championship is coming up shortly. But Antonio Felix da Costa can enjoy his day. He has made memories at this magical, mysterious, marvellous, mayhem-driven Mazzano EPrix. Let's get final thoughts then as well. Starting with you, Josh. Who's going to dominate tomorrow?
I am actually... I don't know. After what happened today, I had no idea. I came in thinking that Vern would get it, and look where we ended up today. I don't think it's able to be called, Josh.
No, I think you're right there. I'm going to ask Jess about that question as well as TNT go off. Jess, what about you?
Well, my pick a winner for tomorrow is Roland. I think I probably made the right decision, but I can't call it after that. It could be anyone. So I'm just going to leave my prediction, but I think don't be surprised if it's not who I think it is. And Vernon will be back with a vengeance, I think, tomorrow.
Absolutely. And Josh?
Yeah.
I think we can officially say I don't care if it's a bigger bottle of champagne here in Formula E than F1, but Da Costa does a better bang on the podium than Lando Norris.
That he does.
Yes.
I agree
that went so high.
That went fantastically well. Right, my thanks to Ed, my thanks to Omi, my thanks to Josh T, my thanks to you, Jess, as well. We'll see you all tomorrow. And to everybody as well, that concludes Formula E today, but we've got MotoGP coming up. Still a lot to do there. Day's not over. We've got Practice 2 coming up in 50 minutes' time. No, in about an hour's time, actually. And then we've got all the action from qualifying, and then we're straight in as well for all of it as well in the Tissot Sprint at 9 o'clock tonight. And then at 9:30, I can collapse into bed and get some sleep before getting called up into another 6 a.m. start for another Formula E race. So that needs a practice session for whatever God reason. We can't just go from a qualifying to a race, can we? Anyway, my thanks to you, everyone here. Thanks to you at home. Da Costa's delivered at a crucial time in his Formula E contract, but the madness and mayhem of Mazzano will continue tomorrow. We'll be back for race 2, same times as today. Bye-bye.